Hello everyone, TheSkilledRoy here, back with another Legends of Runeterra video. With Legends of Runeterra finally finishing up the Bandle City set, there is one question on everyone's mind. What's next for Legends of Runeterra? Or, more importantly, who's next? As people continue to ask for a roadmap, and with Legends of Runeterra having yet to publish said roadmap, I figure now is my last chance to give you an update on much of my research and discoveries over the past few months. As always, these are just speculations and are a variety of conclusions just based on what little I could find. So, let's start at the very beginning. So for those of you who don't know, League of Legends does huge cinematics at the beginning of the year, showcasing champions and plenty of cool moments in the lore. If you haven't seen The Call, please go take a look at it as soon as possible. But in particular, much of the marketing towards the upcoming year for League of Legends is focused upon one champion. With custom ward skins, the name of the cinematic referencing his ultimate, and plenty of focus and marketing materials, I think that this champion is going to be coming to Legends of Runeterra, and of course, that is Ornn, the Forge God of the Freljord. Now I know this might seem like a bit of a stretch, but this logic isn't without precedent either. The previous year for League of Legends was also based on another champion, Viego, the Ruined King. Viego was built up to be the main focus of the 2021 season, with plenty of hype around his release, a cinematic that was named after him, and then of course during said Ruination event, we got Viego added to Legends of Runeterra. It is not impossible that the same thing will occur and we'll get Ornn added to LOR because of a great amount of focus on him in League of Legends. Hell, we even know Legends of Runeterra has done references to him in the past thanks to Fabled Poro, where you can actually see Ornn's shadow in the background. Now, just because that card exists doesn't mean that he'll be soon, as that card was from quite a few expansions ago, but it does mean that at least the Legends of Runeterra team has thought of him. Now, this isn't the only clue we can get from the Ruined King, but this time I'm not talking about the character, I'm talking about the game. Ruined King, the first standalone Riot Forge RPG, was a game all about the prelude of the Ruination event. The game focused on a wide variety of League of Legends champions having to face off against Viego and other champions from the Shadow Isles. Except, here's the thing. Every single champion from that game is now in Legends of Runeterra, all except for one. And that is Illaoi. But why is that important? Well, when Legends of Runeterra cards get added to the game, they obviously need a variety of things, such as art, followers, a cool card design, but most crucially for my purposes, they need a voice actor. Generally speaking, there's been a clear pattern of champions being voiced together in batches. This means Ahri's voice lines for Legends of Runeterra were likely voiced at the same time she was brought in to voice herself in the RPG Ruined King. So when every other champion is voice acted and also in Legends of Runeterra, it would be extremely odd for Illaoi, a champion who takes up a large role in that game, to not also be prepared for a Legends of Runeterra card. This is even more important because Illaoi actually had to get a new voice actress for the Ruined King game, and therefore they couldn't rely on any previous voice work that they've done years ahead of that. Now, speaking of new voice actors, I know some of you will be sad to hear this, but I have reason to believe that this next champion is coming out solely because Riot is seeking to replace their voice actor. Arguably the League of Legends fanbase's favorite champion and one of the most designed cards on the custom Legends of Runeterra subreddit, I think that Jhin will be coming to Legends of Runeterra this year. Now, this will be borderline into the controversy surrounding Jhin's voice actor, and this video is honestly much too broad to really focus on the details of that case, but following said controversy with the Jhin's voice actor, Quinton Flynn, Riot has been heavily rumored to be looking for a new Jhin voice. These claims come from Samantha, who is Quinton's wife, who heard about the casting call for another Jhin voice, and the two of them have gone onto various social media to protest against Riot's move. Now, this case isn't clear-cut. There's a lot of details that I might go into in another video, but the facts presently are that Riot is looking for a new Jhin voice actor. Logically speaking, given Jhin's absurd popularity and how much people are constantly designing custom card versions of Jhin, Riot knows that Jhin would be an extremely hyped champion to add to Legends of Runeterra. The fact that they are now looking for a new voice means that they're looking to make Jhin content soon. Now, logically speaking, it could just be another legendary skin, but specifically, this evidence comes from about 1 to 1.5 years ago, which is the exact time frame at which Riot works ahead when designing Legends of Runeterra cards. This seems to indicate that Jhin will be coming this year. So we already know that Riot tends to work about 1 to 1.5 years ahead of time, And you see, there's a champion who was released about 1 to 1.5 years ago that fills people with absolute dread and excited glee, and that, of course, is Seraphine. Seraphine was an incredibly pushed champion by Riot Games. When she was created, she became the main character of that year's KDA event, putting her at the forefront of one of Riot's biggest new skin lines. To top this off, she was the only champion in the history of the game to release with an ultimate skin. For those of you who don't know League of Legends, ultimate skins only come every other year or so and represent a substantial investment into a character. With constant comics, music videos, and an ultimate skin, Seraphine has always been a huge priority to Riot. And now that the 1.5 year mark is here, this would be right around when Riot could reasonably slot her in. After all, the only way they could have done it sooner is with the champion expansion. And all the champion expansions recently were taken up by huge events such as Ruination and Arcane. Thus, it only seems logical that a champion who received so much support from Riot would be placed into Legends of Runeterra as soon as possible, which is this year. Now, speaking of absurdly popular champions and KDA members, there exists one champion who has consistently appeared in various cinematics, and that, of course, is Kaisa. Kaisa is an infamously popular champion in League of Legends, with Riot attesting to her occasionally taking the crown back and forth from resident golden boy Yasuo. She has received tons of support from Riot Games across the board. However, popularity alone isn't all it takes to get into Legends of Runeterra. After all, Rek'Sai, the Void monster we all know and love, beat her here. And Kaisa is, sadly, more popular. So instead, I use her popularity as only a stepping stone. You see, the next step are data mines from the game itself. You see, previously, Riot Games has accidentally leaked voice lines, art, and keyword names in their files. But there is one leaked keyword in particular that was leaked that matches her perfectly, and that keyword is known as evolve. Now, I hear you plead and beg, what about Kha'Zix? He also evolves. And that is completely true. He is literally one of my favorite champions, and so he was who I was really hoping for as well. But unfortunately, there is another keyword leaked, and this one is Riftwalk. Riftwalk, for those of you who don't know, is the one and only name for Kassadin's ultimate in League of Legends, which basically guarantees his arrival in Legends of Runeterra. But additionally, with the context of Evolve, Kaisa is now more likely than Kha'Zix, because Kassadin and Kaisa are family. I don't have too much time to get into the details of the lore and frankly how nonsensical Kaisa's lore is, but Kassadin is Kaisa's father, and it's very likely they'll release the two and that they'll share some interactions like many of the other family-related Legends of Runeterra champions we have now. Now, these are just the few I have some solid evidence on. Given that we know which voice actors who've had to come into work recently, we also have some possible guesses for other priorities that the Legends of Runeterra team might launch. During the Ruination event, we got two legendary skins that had plenty of voice work, and that was Vayne and Graves. These two champions played central roles in the cinematics as well, and the event itself. Which means, of course, they are probably going to be high priority champions for Riot to include into the game, so I think that Graves and Vayne are pretty fair bets as well this year. Some other recent legendaries we've had in the past year are Yone and Evelynn. These two champions have a legendary skin each recently and are both fairly important in their own respective ways. Evelynn, of course, is a dramatically popular champion and a member of KDA, something that Riot is more than happy to put into their game already, seeing as Evelynn already has representation with the card Go Hard from the KDA expansion. Now, Yone, on the other hand, is an important connection to Yasuo lore-wise, and was a huge part of multiple cinematics over the past year. Given his immense popularity and the connection to one of the most popular champions in League of Legends history, and he already even has a follower card in Legends of Runeterra, he could follow the same route as Senna and become a champion card from his initial follower card. But unfortunately, that is all for me for now. We haven't had too much information just yet, and I'm hoping that when we get this roadmap, I'll have some more information and some more theories for you guys in the future. But as for now, those are my best bets for the champions of 2022. I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.